So I tried to squat like Sam, and here's what happened.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Hey, welcome back, Regular Joes. So we are now at the end of our 60-day 5x5 program. And yeah, I skipped a few days there on the last couple days. Really, it just kind of came down to the fact that I was kind of repping out the same amount of weight towards the end, and I just didn't want to get redundant on you guys. Now, I did change something here recently though. So my whole life, I've always squatted with a wide stance. That just makes sense to me, right? You got a lot of weight up top that gives you a higher center of gravity, so you want a nice wide stance to keep yourself stable, right? I mean, that makes sense, right? So one would assume with a wide stance you can squat more, right? Again, that makes sense, right? Well, obviously that's not always the case. So one day I was scrolling through YouTube, I come across a video of Sam, and I'm watching this big monster, he's squatting, and I've noticed he has a super close footing. Like his feet are like touching when he's squatting. And I just thought to myself, that's insane, how can he squat like that? But curiosity got the best of me. I tried it, and obviously for my hip design and just the way my body is made, that works better for me. So my whole life I've been squatting wrong for my body type. I've been using a wide stance when actually I feel so much more comfortable with a narrow stance. So there's my tip of the day. Experiment with different widths on your squat. You never know, you may end up having some crazy wide or crazy narrow footing that just works best for you. All right, anyways, as I was saying, we are at the end of our 60 days, so now it's time to do our 1 rep max on everything. So I'm getting warmed up on squat, and I think at the midway point we did like 245 on squat. So if we can beat 245, then we've had an improvement over the last 4 weeks. So let's see how it goes. All right, that felt pretty good. Time to go up in weight. All right, that felt pretty tough. I don't want to hurt myself. I barely managed 245 last time, and 255 went up decently. So I'm gonna call it there. I'm getting too old to push too much harder than that. So I'm feeling good. We had an improvement. All right, so on to bench to see what how much we've improved. Now, for those of you who didn't watch the other videos, I'll fill you in on the whole slingshot deal. I don't use the slingshot to increase my weight. I use the slingshot to save my shoulders. So anytime I bench for a max weight like I'm doing today, whatever I hit, I always just knock 10 pounds off of it, because this does increase your max. But I don't use it for that. I use it to protect my shoulders. I've had some shoulder injuries. So this is 255. If I can manage 255, then I'll write it down as me hitting 245. Now I can bench, just a second ago I hit 225 completely raw, no wraps or anything. But after 225, I really start feeling it in my shoulders where I've had those injuries. So anytime I go past 225, I always use this just for some added protection. And I like these two, it just helps my wrists feel a lot better. So, you guys cheer me on here. I'm a little teeny tiny guy, but I am going to attempt 255 here. And then, like I said, if I can get it, then we'll mark it down as 245, given that I'm using the slingshot here. But I gotta say though, guys, if anyone's having shoulder problems, man, this slingshot, it's the way to go when you bench press. Oh, yeah. Struggle with that one. It's crazy to think that 10 years ago, I hit 300. So, but that's 255, so we will jot down that I hit 245. All right, so at our halfway point, which was 30 days, I had gotten up to 295. So that was 30 days ago. I'm going to try for 305 and we'll see how that goes. 305 pounds. Oh yeah. That actually felt pretty darn good. So there was 305. You know, dare I say it, I think I could do 310. All right, guys, so let's see what the results are of our 60 days of training the 5x5 program. All right, so I weighed 157 pounds when I started out. I currently weigh 157. My body fat was 12%, and it is currently 12.9%. Now, of course, the increase in the body fat is also because I kind of went on more of a bulking eating style. I know some days was a little lower on carbs than I wanted it to be, but overall, it was definitely more aimed at like a bulking. My chest measurements started off 41, current 41.2, arms 13.8, they are currently 13.8. Thighs were 21, they are currently 22, and then calves were 13, and they are currently 13.1. I'm going to go ahead and just clear the air on this right now. The 5x5 program is not designed to gain size. You can gain some size from it if you do it a lot and you continue doing the 5x5 program, because as you gain strength, you are going to start gaining some size, but it's not designed for it. The 5x5 program is designed to give you strength, and that's what it gives. So now let's see the numbers here. This is what the program was designed for. I started off 60 days ago with a maximum squat of 225 with a wide stance, and I ended up with a 255 squat narrow stance. Bench press, I was at 205. I am now at 245. Bench comes really easy to me, so it's really easy for me to gain on bench. Squat is something that I really struggle with. So squat is something I'm going to continue to improve upon. My bench, I just hit it every once in a blue moon because I really don't need to. Deadlift, 235. We are now at 305, and honestly it came up easy. So we'll probably do more than that, but I don't want to hurt myself. So there you go, guys. The strength building program didn't build muscle size, but it did build strength, and that's what it's for. So, but if you guys do want to see muscle building, as in size building, hypertrophy training, that's coming up next. I'm done with my strength training for a while. For anyone who's never done the 5x5 program, know two things. One, it's a great tool to build strength. If you want to get stronger, in my opinion, there's really not a better, well-rounded program than the 5x5 program. Make sure you have somebody with you to help spot you, show you the right technique and things. But other than that, man, this is such a great tool. But if you want muscle size, then you definitely need to do a hypertrophy training. And that's what I'm doing now, because the 5x5 program is kind of rough on your joints. It's kind of rough on you overall. This is the first time that I've ever done 60 days of it straight. I normally do 30 days, and then I'll take 1 or 2 weeks off and do really lightweight like cardio and ab work and stuff like that, just to let my joints recover. And then I'll do another 30 days and then take 2 weeks off and then another 30 days. That's generally how I do the 5x5. This is the first time I've ever done 60 days straight, and I could tell that 60 days straight was not for me. Might be good for you guys, but not for me, because after I reached a little bit past the halfway point, I kind of just hit the point to where I could not increase the weight anymore. I was stuck doing the same amount of weight for the 5x5 reps, or for the 5 sets of 5 each time. That's why I didn't do any videos on those last couple ones. I didn't want to bore you guys with the same weight over and over and over and over. But if I was to take off 2 weeks and then hit this again, I would be able to keep going up in weight as I always did. Because at one time I'd gotten up to 400 on deadlift and 300 on bench. So I mean, like, I'm still capable of doing that if I was to give myself that time. I'm just not really capable of doing 60 days of this straight. It's just too hard on my joints. So if you guys are interested in seeing some hypertrophy training, I'm going to get rid of the old dad bod and try to get some leaner muscle on. But I'm going to do it in a bulking phase first. So I'm going to do a hypertrophy training bulking and then a hypertrophy training cut to get shredded back down. So I'm probably going to do a bulk. It's coming up. It's already coming up on summer, so I'll probably do a bulk for like a full year. We'll see how that goes. I don't know yet. Catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.
It's not a game, it's a